In the vast and rugged landscapes of the American West, few symbols are as iconic or as wild as the American Mustang. These free-roaming horses have thundered across the plains, deserts, and mountains for centuries, becoming a living legacy of the spirit of the frontier. From helping settlers explore uncharted territory, to serving in cavalry units, to working tirelessly on ranches, Mustangs played a critical role in the expansion of the West. Hardy, intelligent, and fiercely independent, these horses were the backbone of a growing nation. But how did the American Mustang come to be? Their story began over 500 years ago, when Spanish explorers first brought horses to the Americas in the early 1500s. Many of these horses were Iberian breeds, including the Andalusian, Barb, and Galiceño. Over time, some escaped or were released into the wild, forming the foundation of what we now know as the Mustang. As America expanded, people often turned out domesticated horses, whether for practical reasons or to improve the bloodlines of the wild horses. Breeds like the Thoroughbred, Quarter Horse, Morgan, and draft breeds were introduced into the Mustang herds. And even today, domesticated horses are sometimes unlawfully released into wild populations, continuing to influence their genetic makeup. After centuries of unchecked removal, public outcries resulted in a change in 1971, with the passing of the Wild Free-Roaming Horses and Burros Act. This legislation was designed to protect and preserve Mustangs as a vital part of an American heritage. However, in order to preserve ecological balance, the Bureau of Land Management manages herd populations to protect rangeland and wildlife habitats through periodic roundups and adoption programs. Thousands of Mustangs find new homes each year, giving people a chance to connect with a living piece of the Wild West. That's where my journey began. I adopted my first wild Mustang, a stunning Bay Dun gelding we named Rooster. From the Twin Peaks HMA, out of over 1,000 horses, Rooster stood out with his strong build, soft, kind eyes, and an easygoing, thoughtful nature that drew me to him. We've had him for almost 8 weeks now, and he's already impressed us beyond belief. He's been hauled out, saddled, and I've even sat on his back. He's calm, smart, and ready to begin his journey under saddle. But as my love for this Mustang grew, so did my curiosity. I wanted to know what breeds were behind Rooster's incredible presence and abilities. So, I ordered a DNA test from the Texas A&M University, which offers a comprehensive analysis of horse breed ancestry. You simply pay online, print out the form, pull strands of mane and tail hair with roots attached, and send it off. A few weeks later, the results came in. Texas A&M tests for over 50 different horse breeds, and they narrow it down to the top 3 most prominent breeds in your horse's DNA. I was shocked when I saw the results for Rooster. His top 3 breeds weren't just random, they told a story of strength, speed, and deep history. And today I'm sharing those results with you. Coming in at number 3, the Turkoman. The Turkoman horse, also known as turkman, was an ancient and highly esteemed breed that originated in Central Asia, particularly what is now Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and northern Iran. Bred by the nomadic Turkmen tribes more than 1,000 years ago, these horses were prized for their speed, endurance, and ability to thrive in harsh desert environments. Their tall, slim build, long legs, fine metallic coat, and spirited temperament made them ideal for warfare, raiding, and long-distance travel. Uniquely, they were fed a high-protein diet that included grains and mutton fat, which helped them develop lean, muscular bodies perfectly suited for the demands of the arid grasslands. The Turkoman horse played a vital role in the military and cultural life of the Turkic and Persian peoples, often appearing in poetry and folklore. Although the breed is now extinct, its genetic legacy lives on in modern breeds. The Akalteki, often called its closest descendant, shares many of the physical traits, including the distinctive metallic sheen and remarkable endurance. The Arabian horse may also have been influenced by the Turkoman, particularly in terms of height and refinement. Perhaps most significantly, the Turkoman contributed to the development of the English thoroughbred. As nomadic traditions declined and horse breeds modernized, the pure Turkoman line gradually disappeared by the 18th and 19th centuries. Now you may be wondering, how does an extinct breed of horse from Asia end up in the genetics of a Mustang from North America? One of the key ways the Turkoman horse impacted the modern horse world was through its genetic contribution to the English thoroughbred in the 17th and early 18th centuries. The Byerly Turk, one of the 3 founding sires of the thoroughbred breed, was likely a Turkoman horse or strongly influenced by the Turkoman blood. This stallion arrived in England in the 1680s after being captured during the Battle of Buda in Hungary, and later became the most important ancestors in the development of the thoroughbred. These horses were bred for racing, with speed, stamina, and refinement being the primary focus, traits that strongly resemble the characteristics of the Turkoman horse. Thoroughbreds began arriving in the American colonies in the 1700s, with official imports dating back to 1730, when Bull Rock, a son of the Darley Arabian, was brought to Virginia. As the new nation grew westward, so did the demand for high-quality performance horses. By the mid to late 1800s, thoroughbreds had made their way across the country, eventually reaching California, where they gained popularity for racing and sport. In the 1860s through the 1890s, horse racing flourished, with major tracks being developed and thoroughbreds becoming the stars of the scene. However, in the 1900s, California passed strict laws banning betting on horse races, which caused the racing industry to collapse. Without the incentive of prize money or gambling, many racehorses became too costly to maintain. It is here that I've developed a theory that some of these thoroughbreds, now without purpose, may have been turned loose or sold cheaply, finding their way into wild herds of feral horses or mustangs, especially in the remote high desert regions of California and Nevada. One particularly interesting possibility is that thoroughbreds with traces of Turkoman blood, especially those bred from the Byerly Turk line, could have influenced Mustang herds found in places like the Twin Peaks herd management area on the California-Nevada border. Other herd management areas such as Devil's Garden, Sheldon Refuge, and Lassen County may also have seen introduction of thoroughbred blood during this period. Over time, these horses would have bred with existing wild populations, descendants of Spanish horses and early ranch stock, possibly leaving behind genetic traces of the Turkoman through their thoroughbred ancestors. This could explain why some of the modern-day Mustangs in California exhibit Turkoman-like features, such as refined heads, long legs, slim bodies, high endurance, and even that metallic sheen in their coats, a hallmark of the Acolteque and its Turkoman ancestors. Though difficult to prove without extensive DNA analysis, this theory adds a fascinating layer to the story of how ancient horse bloodlines might still live on in these wild horses of our American West. That takes us to the number 2 result of Rooster's DNA, the American Quarter Horse. The American Quarter Horse is one of the most iconic and versatile horse breeds in the world. Known for its explosive speed over short distances, muscular build, and calm, intelligent temperament. Its origins trace back to the early colonial America in the 1600s, when English thoroughbreds were crossed with Spanish horses, descendants of the Iberian and Barb stock brought to the Americas by explorers and conquistadors. Over generations, these horses were selectively bred for sprinting ability, particularly over a quarter mile, giving the American Quarter Horse its name. The result was a horse with power, agility, and mindset needed for a wide range of tasks both then and now. Today, the American Quarter Horse is a standout in nearly every Western discipline. It dominates the world of cutting, where its cow sense and quick moves shine, in reining and reined cow horse work, where its athleticism and responsiveness are unmatched, and in barrel racing, where its speed and precision set the standard. It's a go-to horse for rodeo events, ranch work, trail riding, and even English disciplines. With over 6 million registered quarter horses, it remains the most popular breed in the United States and a favorite of riders around the world. Historically, the quarter horse was deeply embedded in the shaping of early America. It served settlers and pioneers, pulled wagons, worked farms, and drove cattle across vast landscapes. The U.S. cavalry relied on the quarter horse's strength and endurance, while ranchers prized them for their reliability and ability to outmaneuver cattle on the open range. As the American West expanded in the 1800s, so did the quarter horse's legacy. During this era, horses weren't just bred, they were also strategically released. Settlers, ranchers, and the military often turned out domestic horses loose into wild Mustang herds to improve the quality of free-roaming horses for future use. The goal was to strengthen the wild gene pool, ensuring the feral horses could be rounded up and used for cavalry mounts, ranch work, and homesteading. American quarter horses, known for their strong build, intelligence, and calm temperaments, were among those deliberately released into the wild. These introductions had a lasting effect on Mustang populations across the West. In areas like Northern California and Northern Nevada, particularly in herd management areas such as Twin Peaks, Devil's Garden, Warm Springs Canyon, and Fox Hog, you can still see evidence of this influence. Mustangs from these regions sometimes display the broad chest, powerful haunches, and sturdy legs typical of quarter horses. And finally, the number one and most influential breed in Rooster's DNA, the Galiceño horse. The Galiceño horse is a small but mighty breed with ancient roots tracing back to the rugged landscapes of the Iberian Peninsula, particularly in the regions of Galicia in northwest Spain and northern Portugal. These horses are thought to have descended from primitive breeds, such as the Soraya and Garano, both of which are among the oldest known horse types in Europe, dating back thousands of years. The Soraya is especially noted for its dun coloring and primitive markings, including leg barring and a dorsal stripe, traits that were inherited by the early Galicenos. These stripes are remnants of ancestral equines and are signs of ancient wild horse genetics, providing visual proof of the breed's deep genetic history. Galiceños are typically under 14 hands high, averaging 12.2 to 13.2 hands. But what they lack in size, they more than make up for in endurance, strength, and temperament. They possess short backs, strong hindquarters, and dense bone, making them durable and efficient movers. Their mentality is one of intelligence, willingness, and bravery, with a calm, steady nature that has made them extremely reliable for daily tasks, travel, and handling unpredictable terrain. Their adaptability and nimble-footed agility made them ideal for mountainous terrain, narrow paths, and long-distance travel. And they could carry adults with surprising ease despite their smaller stature. Their docile yet energetic disposition meant they responded well to training and formed strong bonds with their handlers. For centuries, they were essential for transportation, farming, and exploration in new environments that larger or more sensitive horses couldn't easily manage. As a result, the Galiceño was not only treasured for its physical traits, but also for its emotional intelligence, making it a favorite of Spanish settlers and later Native American horse cultures across the Americas. The Galiceño's journey to the Americas began in the 1500s, when Spanish conquistadors and explorers brought horses to the New World. Galiceños, being durable and easy to manage, were favored mounts on long voyages and in harsh terrain. Once in the Americas, these horses spread across Mexico and southwest United States, playing a significant role in Spanish colonial expansion. Native American tribes quickly recognized the value of these horses. Their manageable size, strength, and adaptability made them ideal, especially for plains and desert cultures that relied heavily on horses for hunting, warfare, and travel. Tribes like the Comanche, Ute, and Shoshone played a key role in distributing the Galiceño-type horses across the western regions of North America. Over time, the Galiceño helped shape the foundation of several modern horse breeds. Their influence can be seen in the American quarter horse, where their agility, quick acceleration, and cow sense contributed to the development of a fast, muscular breed ideal for ranch and rodeo work. They also had an impact on breeds like the American paint horse, Appaloosa, and even certain lines of Morgan horses. The influence of the Galiceño on the American Mustang is particularly important. As settlements expanded across the West, horses were often lost, traded, or even deliberately turned out loose to improve wild horse herds. Cavalry units, ranchers, and Native Americans all contributed to the mixing of domestic blood into feral horse populations. In Northern California and Northern Nevada, areas such as the Twin Peaks Herd Management Area, Devil's Garden, and South Steens became a melting pot for equine genetics. It is very likely that Galiceño blood made its way into these herds through multiple channels. Cavalry remount programs sometimes abandoned or sold off horses, Native Americans traded or lost Galiceño-type ponies, and ranchers turned out hardy, small horses to breed stronger, more useful mustangs for future roundups in use. Today, while pure Galiceños are critically rare, their legacy lives on in the wild mustangs of the American West. Mustangs from areas like Twin Peaks often show refined heads, upright necks, compact frames, strong hooves, and sometimes even primitive striping, all subtle reminders of the ancient Iberian ancestry. Though small in stature, the Galiceños' impact was, and remains, enormous, woven into the DNA of horses that still roam the rugged lands of our American West. While our Mustang Rooster is a mix of many influential breeds, there are a lot of Galiceño characteristics that shine through. His build and coloration reflect Iberian influence. One glance at him moving out, and there is no doubt he has Spanish blood. His calm, sweet nature, eagerness to learn, compact build, strong hooves, athletic ability, and elegant arching neck are all traits he could have very well received from his Galiceño heritage. This amazing Mustang has already shown just how much willingness and try he has. But our journey together is just beginning. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of our journey with this incredible horse. And if you're new to our channel, check out our playlist showing the entire process from choosing this Mustang out of nearly 1,000 wild horses, adopting him, bringing him home, and the gentling process so far. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.